Long ago, in a vast golden savannah, where the tall grass whispered in the wind, and the sun painted the earth with warm light, there ruled a lion king, feared by every creature. His name was King Barak, and the sound of his roar could silence the forest. Animals scattered when he walked, herds fled before his shadow even touched the ground. For King Barak believed that a ruler must rule with fear, and that kindness was a weakness unworthy of a king. But the king had a son, a young lion cub named Kito. And unlike his father, Kito's heart was gentle. While the king believed strength meant domination, Kito believed strength meant protection. This is the story of the gentle lion and the cruel king, and the choice that would change the savannah forever. Kito was born during the season of golden rain, when the clouds poured life onto the plains and flowers blossomed everywhere. The kingdom celebrated the birth of the prince. The lions roared proudly. Even distant animals whispered about the future king. But from the very beginning, Kito was different. While other lion cubs practiced pouncing on small animals, Kito often wandered off to play with creatures others would chase. He once spent an entire afternoon helping a baby tortoise flip back onto its feet. He shared shade with rabbits, and once, when a wounded gazelle struggled near the river, Kito guarded it from predators until it could stand again. The gazelle never forgot. Unfortunately, King Barak noticed. One evening from atop Pride Rock, the king watched his son lying beside a group of antelope. Barak's golden eyes narrowed. "That cub," he growled to the royal advisor, "an old hyena named Sorrow. He lies with prey." Sorrow cackled softly. "A prince who befriends dinner is a strange prince indeed." Barak's tail flicked with irritation. "He will learn." The next morning, the king summoned Kito. The cub padded nervously toward his father. "Father," Barak stood tall like a mountain. "A lion is king because the world fears him," Barak said. "Today you will learn this." He led Kito down into the plains. Nearby, a small group of hares were nibbling grass. "Chase them," Barak ordered. Kito blinked, "But they're tiny." Barak's voice hardened. "Chase them." The hares looked up nervously. Kito walked toward them slowly. Instead of roaring, he whispered gently, "Run, my father is watching." The hares bolted. From the hill, Barak saw everything. His roar shook the grasslands. Kito, the cub, froze. Barak marched down the slope like a thunderstorm. "You warned them." Kito looked at his paws. "They were afraid." "They should be afraid," the king snapped. "But they did nothing wrong." Barak's eyes burned with anger. "Remember this, a king does not ask whether others deserve fear." From that day on, Kito kept his kindness hidden, but he could not erase it. At night, he would slip away from the pride and wander the savannah. And slowly, animals began to trust him. A clever meerkat named Tavi became his closest friend. "You're the strangest lion alive," Tavi once said, standing on a rock. Kito chuckled. "Is that bad?" "Very bad." "If you plan to become king," one evening, an elephant matriarch approached him. "You helped my calf once," she said. Kito nodded shyly. The elephant bowed her head slightly. "If you ever rule this land, we will remember." Kito sighed. "I may never rule." "Why?" asked Tavi. Kito looked toward Pride Rock. "Because my father believes kindness makes me weak." Years passed. Kito grew into a strong young lion. His mane began to grow, golden like sunrise. But his heart remained the same. King Barak grew older and more impatient. One evening, he summoned Kito before the entire pride. "The time has come," Barak announced. The lions gathered in a circle. "The prince must prove he is worthy of the throne." Whispers spread through the pride. Barak continued. "Beyond the river lives a small herd of young buffalo. Weak, easy prey." He looked directly at Kito. "You will hunt them alone," Kito stiffened. "But they are calves." "Exactly," said Barak. Silence filled the savannah. "If you wish to be king, prove you have no mercy." That night, Kito walked toward the river. His paws felt heavy. Tavi, the meerkat, ran beside him. "You can't do this," Tavi said. "If I refuse," Kito said quietly, "my father will never allow me to rule. And if you do it," Kito looked at the stars, "then I become him." They reached the riverbank. The buffalo calves were sleeping beside their mothers, peaceful, trusting. Kito stepped forward. One calf opened its eyes. It stared at him, not with hatred, not with fear, just curiosity. Kito stopped. His claws slowly sank into the dirt. "I can't," he whispered. Suddenly, a thunderous roar echoed behind him. King Barak had followed. "You hesitate." The herd panicked and ran. Barak blocked Kito's path. "You are a disgrace." The king's roar shook the night. "You choose weakness over power." Kito lifted his head. "No," Barak snarled. "No, I choose compassion." Gasps echoed from animals watching in the shadows. Barak stepped forward dangerously. "Then you choose exile." But before Barak could continue, the ground trembled. The elephant herd appeared from the trees. Behind them came zebras, gazelles, wildebeests, even the hares Kito once saved. Tavi climbed onto a rock. "You see, Your Majesty," the meerkat squeaked. "Kindness has allies." The elephant matriarch spoke. "We no longer wish to live under fear." Barak looked around in shock. "Animals do not defy kings, perhaps not cruel ones," she said, "but they follow good ones." Barak lunged toward Kito, but before he could strike, the elephants blocked him. The old king realized something terrifying. He ruled only lions. Kito ruled hearts. Barak stepped back slowly. His roar this time sounded smaller. "Take the throne," he growled bitterly. "You've already stolen the kingdom." And with that, the cruel king left the savannah forever. The sun rose over the plains. For the first time, the animals gathered at Pride Rock, not out of fear, but hope. Kito stepped onto the stone. He looked down at the creatures of the savannah. Predators, prey, all watching. Kito spoke gently. "A king should not rule through fear." The wind carried his words across the plains. "A king should protect those who cannot protect themselves." The animals cheered. Even the lions bowed their heads. And from that day forward, the savannah changed. Hunting still happened because nature must survive, but cruelty ended. The strong protected the weak, and peace lasted longer than anyone could remember. And so the young lion who refused to be cruel became the greatest king the savannah had ever known. Because true strength is not measured by how many you frighten, but by how many you protect. And sometimes the bravest thing a future king can say is simply this: "No, thanks for watching." If this story moved you, please give it a like and subscribe for more tales of courage and compassion. See you next time.